whoever you are, wherever you may be. You have obviously come to hear me moan. I don't moan that much. Self-deprecate, maybe. Maybe that's moaning. But, yeah, I'm trying to do a YouTube channel to figure myself out. And hopefully invite somebody else on this silly journey of mine. I am a artist kind of person, I guess. I paint. Proof is in the pudding. Let me show you. Here's my paint brushes, my extremely amazing art space. I joke, I kid. I am very grateful to my sister for providing me a space while I basically squat here. I am squatting at my sister's place because I am in a very difficult, very challenging part of my life where we are once again moving countries. I am moving from Poland, where I'm currently, and have been here for the last 6 years, what am I saying? I have a family, I have a wonderful wife, 2 wonderful kids who have already gone to South Africa. They are in South Africa and I am still in Poland. I have remained here for a few months in order to sort out. Proof is in the pudding. That one. That thing there. That is Oreo the cat. And Schnoodle the sausage dog is sleeping somewhere behind me. Need to plan the move of the animals. So I'm here. Taking a bit longer than expected. Much longer than expected, but what can a person do? Anyway, I want to talk about, as I talk, I will fill whoever is watching this, if anybody's watching this, about who I am and what I'm about. But since I do art, I have long periods of time. I don't only do art, but I like doing art. Oh, this is my art. This isn't my art. This is something that I'm doing for shits and giggles. It's a giraffe with a cat. See? Anyway. Early stage of the painting. That's not exactly what I do. My paintings look different, varied. I will show you what I do during the course of my videos, because this is kind of therapy for me. I don't take tablets. I talk to myself. Healthy, no? Yeah. Anyway, I want to try and figure out art, because there's a lot of things in my life where sort of come to a head, and I am wondering about what it is that I'm doing, because I constantly battle to start. Now, it's not to say that I haven't been doing art ever. I did fine arts when I lived in South Africa, because I was born in Poland and then I moved to South Africa at a young age, and I lived most of my life there. And everything that kept me busy there was more commercial art, because I was young and I wanted to make money with it, and it was more wildlife painting and portraits, sort of African portraits and things like that. So everything was more realistic, everything was more or less imaginative, let's put it that way. But now, at this stage of my life, I would prefer to paint things that are more stylistic, more stylized, more abstract, more impressionistic, more expressionistic. I'm exploring that side of things because I'm tired of realism. And every time I switch on Instagram or whatever and I see some bloke standing in front of a beautiful photorealistic portrait of somebody's face, I appreciate the skill, but my food backs up in me. This is just purely my experience. I know what it's like to sit there and do realistic stuff, and I know how much effort it takes, and I know how much patience it takes, but God, it's awful boring. Awfully boring. Awful. So for me, I would like to explore more expressionistic things. Now, my battle is that I come from a graphic background. So since my paintings were more realistic, and the other way that I was making money was through graphics, basically. Through computer graphics, through illustrations. So everything had to be style on demand, subject on demand, and especially with the computer graphics industry, you're pushing pixels around. You're trying to make it look like somebody wants it to look. So eventually, the brain says no. It doesn't want to. And it's difficult to explain to anybody around me. But my brain just said, no, this is not who you are. There's so much talk about life is art and art is life, and you should be an artist that lives as art. It's very difficult if you're a graphic, like if you're an illustrator, not a graphic designer. I did graphic design as well. I'm self-taught in everything, and I basically went wherever the money was. Not that I've made some success in my life being a illustrator or not. I was involved in a few computer games, one really good one. But I want to try and do something for myself. As selfish and self-indulgent as it seems, I'm getting to the stage of my life where I cannot stomach thinking of doing stuff. So I am adaptable. I can do realistic things, and every single time I speak to people and they see that I'm in some kind of angst, they try and give me suggestions. They say, hey Shammy, why don't you just paint a few ducks? Ducks are my favorite animals, or birds at least. Paint a few elephants, paint a few this, make some money, make some of this, make some of that. And unfortunately, that is the thing that, even though I know how to do it, and I would probably be more successful with it now, having gone through all the computer graphics industry, I think I'd be a bit more diligent in getting stuff done. However, I just can't gather my brain. I can't gather my thoughts to enable me to do this. So, long story short, this is where I am. This is the point in my life where I'm at, where I'm moving countries and things are upside down, and I don't even have a studio that I did have, and I had to get rid of my easels, my everything, and I'm stuck. Reinventing myself. Not because of a need, but because of a want. Well, let's say a need, because to me it feels like I need to, I have to, it's imperative that I do. Otherwise, my brain is going to turn to jelly and come up my nostrils, if it hasn't already. So I'm trying other things. I'm trying to be I'm trying to think less. I'm trying to overthink less. I'm trying to be more spontaneous, because it's not like I haven't done paintings where I've been spontaneous. Those are the paintings that bring me the most joy. And I feel like it is only there that I can provide anything for anybody, including other people. Myself for sure, but for other people. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I wonder if anybody who watches this video would resonate with this sort of thing. This place in a person's life, this fight, this struggle, this whatever it is that I'm at. But as selfish as it seems, I want to sort of be myself. You can only be yourself, right? So you need to kind of celebrate yourself and do what it is that comes naturally to you, even if it takes a bit of work, because if you've been stuck in something for too many years, that is your default setting. That's how you start your paintings. That's how you plan everything. because you think that it needs to come out the way that it did for a client, which is, just thinking about it makes me, gives me heartburn. It's like, it's really not nice. So anyway, I have been kind of isolated as well because I don't surround myself with artist friends. I live in a little echo chamber. The people around me, my sister is talented, and I bounce ideas of her sometimes. My daughter is talented, and I bounce ideas of her. And that's all great. But there isn't, I don't keep company with people who have made it in the art industry. I don't know why. I've never really followed anybody's style, and I see that there's such a big hoo-ha about it on the internet. You have to have your style. You have to develop this. You have to. I think that's not the way I've ever thought about things. It's always just come. If somebody says to me, be realistic, I'll try and be realistic. This and that. I don't follow. I've never reproduced anybody's paintings. I've never studied under anybody. I've never tried to figure out what it is. How some of these guys, they put on Sargent and paint his paintings. I mean, it's good. It's skill and everything. I guess I did that when I tried to mimic, replicate, reference real life, but the time has come, I guess, to do something else, to do that. And this is obviously not my main form of income, otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford anything. So for me, I want to try and explore this, and I hope if anybody's watching, if there's anybody in the comments section, if there's anybody there, please respond in the comment section and say, yes, I know what you're talking about, or you're a chop. Get over it. Go and draw some cows and chickens and shit, because that's what seems to be selling in Poland. Chickens. Oh my God. Chickens, bulls, poppies, I don't know. This painting behind me, or in front of me, behind you, Woman with a Cat, is just me sketching, coming up with something just to start off with. What I have planned is whatever comes my way. I decided to just let the pieces fall, and since this is what fell onto my sketch book thing first, this is what I'm doing. I've done a lot of pastels, ridiculously, intensely overworked pastels, which I'm sure people would look at and say, why, Shami, why did you do this? You might as well just put your fingers in a door and slam them a few times, because it's just as enjoyable. You just finish it off, gild that turd, and use it as your mask and say, oh look, it's good because I spent so much time on it. Or convince yourself that it was on some level enjoyable. And heaven forbid, me being an introvert, having to convince other people that it's worth anything. Because yes, eventually, if somebody buys a painting, I'm definitely not going to complain. But I just feel like I don't have anything to offer when it comes to this realism. And I see people painting and they do have the patience for it. I mean, I do have patience for painting, but I don't have the patience to... I'll have the patience to finish one, to finish two, to finish three. But then I see them and there is just canvases and canvases of portraits and twigs and fur and hours of something, like a computer or a photograph or I don't know, a photocopy could do. I can't do that anymore. So yeah, long story short, I hope whoever's watching, if anybody's watching, continue watching, because for me it's going to be an experience trying to come up with this. I have tried to start this a few times. Since I'm an introvert, talking to the camera is perhaps easier than talking to other people. Although I'm not such an introvert where I can't function outside. I go and I speak to people. It's just that I don't like too many people all at once. Anyway, I'm quite happy sitting here, chatting to a camera, getting used to chatting to a camera, and to whoever's on the other side of the camera, and just seeing if I can enrich my life and entertain somebody else in the process, if you can call it entertainment. But basically what this is about is me doing things that come naturally to me, and that means being planning less, and just doing more. It's the simplest I can put it. So I'm going to end the video now and say thanks for watching, whoever watched it. I will be back when I have something else to babble about.